guys, Neil with SFJ4x4.com, and I'm coming in with another Tech Tuesday update. We are getting ready to head south. I'm pretty excited. So the wagon is finally heading home just in time for Christmas card pictures to happen. The guys did a fantastic job on the reloaded process. If you've been following along for very much, you will have known that we had a catalytic converter issue. We had a leaky transfer case, and then ultimately we had a Holley sniper issue. Probably because of back pressure from catalytic converter things, not 100% sure. Leaky transfer case was probably because of the Chernobyl catalytic converter. And we've got drive shaft, choo-choo, and a couple other goodies on it. But it's done, ready to rock and roll, and so the customer can enjoy it for those beautiful fall leaf tours. What you can see in the back is obviously not a Jeep, but we have a unique option. I see another train montage happening here soon. Not a Jeep, but hauling it south for a friend of the business. And interestingly enough, it's kind of a kit car, but it actually has a Ford 8.8 rear axle under it, which obviously we use in a lot of Jeeps. And interestingly enough, it has more or less the seats out of the Grand Wagoneer installed in it. So it actually has Jeep full-size Jeep seats in it. So kind of cool stuff. We are on this side of the hauler. We have this 6 CJ7. It's ready to head home to its customer owner very soon. The one on the far side of that, hopefully you'll be getting a stroker in the very near future. Swing around the corner, you can see the Mad Scientist cool hauler of his own there. If you watch our podcast or know anything about him, that's his iconic truck that he's had forever. We've got Chuck Norris. We've got the Masio camo job. We've got getting the orange one in for an IRO 2.5-inch lift kit, Fox shock, and a whole bunch of maintenance. We have the side piece. It's going to get re-geared. It's getting a Dana 44 rear axle installed, re-geared lift kit. The LJ here has got all the sick armor on it. Looks beautiful. It'll be getting put on in place soon. The gold one is up from Pittsburgh. It was a lot of maintenance issues, startability, runability, and tune-up. We have the frame off, which is ideally one of the frames that I'll be purchasing while we're down in the south, trying to bring that back for our customers. The buggy is back. It went off, it wheeled, it played, and now it's time to reload and do some cool stuff on it. And the yellow LJ is getting an Alpine head unit. We did a DS18 install, if you watched that previously. Still love the DS18. It's what I have in my own Jeep, but they had a short production run issue. We went ahead, pulled those out, warranted them, and we have a great price and sale on Alpines right now. That customer opted to go ahead and upgrade at this time. Let's head inside, check out what's going on there. In true and appropriate Halloween fashion, we have Herman the Jeep. You can see Herman Munster here hanging out on the back. It got a rough country rear bumper. I actually really like this bumper when it comes to Cherokees. A lot of people have mixed feelings on rough country. We do sell and offer it as a line. It's not our first line, but we do absolutely offer it. I actually really like about this is it has this really trick recessed hitch receiver, so nothing sticking off the back, gives it a real nice clean rear look. Backup lights, and it just kind of fits in nice with the body shape. And honestly, RC's powder coat, not that bad. So pretty affordable and a decent rear bumper. Herman got some new exhaust. It too got a new head unit and DS18 speakers. And this one got some tune-up maintenance stuff. If you watched any of our previous updates, we actually took this particular owner and family member had a low mileage Cherokee at about 90,000 miles. Herman was from the south, and he had about 250,000 miles on the body itself. So we took the 90,000 mile engine, transmission, transfer case, cleaned that all up, new water pump, bearings, blah, 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 shoved it into Herman here. So give them hopefully many more years of reliable use. This one is just super cool. So been building Jeeps for a really long time, and I cut my teeth on some old school Dana axle technology. So axles that were built in the 70s, 80s, and 90s is kind of where I really started to play with vehicles. So, and as far as mods on them, this one is really cool because this has got a giant throwback to a lot of those modifications. We see a lot of those kind of period correct mods on it. We see Blue Torch Fab product. We see probably some LOD. And then up front we have Wagoneer Dana 44, and I believe it's the Isuzu Trooper rear 44. And so a lot of neat stuff. So right now we're working through this. I could talk at length about the merits of the Wagoneer 44. It's interesting because their wheel mount to wheel mount surface, or the track width, really isn't that different. The big thing is it is a standard 6-lug pattern, so no longer do your TJ really pretty much anything as your standard TJ or JKJL, any of that kind of patterns of 5 on something, because these are 6-lug axles. There are downsides, there are upsides. We don't really do a lot of this anymore, but it's still fun to see it here and to be working through it. This has true lockouts. We're going to be doing a worn lockout upgrade on it. It does have an E&E locker in it. We're re-gearing. Basically, whoever put this together back in 2015, it lost preload on the pinion bearings. Lost preload, the pinion dropped down a little bit, ate up the teeth on the ring. And so here we are cleaning up, but this actually had a lot of mud, water, gobbledygook intrusion. We're here to clean that up and fix it up for the customer at this point. Like I said, fun stuff in the back. You actually get the same 6-lug wheel pattern out of the Isuzu because they were buying Dana axles, so they were kind of cross. But we got this beefy 44 back here, and you would have gotten disc brakes out of it, which of course at that time was pretty desirable. Again, this is something we would typically see built out of, maybe the early 2000s, 2002 to 6. They said this appears to be built in 15. Somebody did a lot of good work, interesting work in 15. I actually really like they stamped it. So that's pretty cool. We can kind of backdate the workmanship they've done. If you've been watching, this one is kicking my butt. That's just the reality of the situation. Some days you get the bear, some days the bear gets you. And this one is just getting me. Floating grounds issue. We're just going to keep on plugging away and trying our best. As we come over into the vintage restoration area, obviously hashtag not a restoration. We're in the devil's in the details period. It's getting a lot of little fine-tuning items to it. Everybody loves seeing it. We want to see it outside in the daylight sooner than later. Wiring is going in. Dash is coming together. Scott was actually showing off the stereo very recently. Obviously, there's a lot going on inside. We have the painless wiring kit that's all laid in. We actually, on the podcast earlier, we have the graphics package here that'll go on to kind of complete the Renegade portion of this. And I see the information for the stereo. I was hoping to show it to you guys because Scott was showing off. It's pretty cool. It's this tiny little body. Apparently it's over here. So, oh my goodness. Look at this. This is spectacular. Ooh, I got chills. So this is one heck of a good looking unit coming in here. So silly things that are happening, good, bad, and otherwise. Glove box, funny thing you may or may not know, the actual push button itself is almost as expensive as the entire glove box door. So I know those push buttons are coming. This is the stereo, and we can see the stereo face. It's actually meant to look exactly like a period correct stereo. However, it's Bluetooth. It actually has like inputs for microphone, and you know, you can actually do like hands-free calling and everything. It's fully digital. It's a really neat unit, and actually if you look down here you can see this tiny little body and then all of our standard new age technology, HDMI, all of our antenna adapter, all that kind of stuff. This is going to get actually a pretty solid little sound system in it, brought to you by American Bass. We're going to have speaker pods. We actually have a little enclosed subwoofer, all of it clean, tucked away. This is just going to be a beautiful cruiser when it's done, and obviously super incredibly capable off-road. So that's gorgeous, looks good. The beach cruiser is doing good. Actually, what we've got here, per the customer, this is automotive grade spray paint. This is actually, whoa, let me throw it there. This is actually, you can see they've already tested the color. They did a color match for us, and we're going to be painting the windshield frame. So again, do the best we can with what we've got. Customer's not super concerned about the paint overall, but is looking for a nice kind of a good look from a few feet away. He's got kind of a theme going on with the Jeep. Obviously the dash on that has been coming along very well at this point, and a lot of good progress has been made. And finally, but certainly, you know, not least by any stretch of the imagination, we've got the M38 frame sitting on there, ready for things start to, we're going to do a top coat on this base coat and start to make it look like a real Jeep. Ooh, I'm a real Jeep. Not just a pile of parts. Folks, we got a lot of cool things going on. We're headed south, buy hopefully some cool rust-free parts, bring them back. We've got some pretty good travels happening in the very near future. We went to Bantam Trail Fest, had a great time there, so a big shout out for that organization for having that event in the local area. If you like what you've seen, make sure you like, subscribe, ring the bell, do all that stuff, put a comment below, tell us about a Jeep that's jumped out at you, ask about something that you've seen. You know, we love interacting with people on our Facebook and Instagram and YouTube pages. So do it. We read it all. We try to respond to the majority of it. And we want to bring all this Jeepness to you. So do it. Reach out to us. Share those things. And we'll make sure to, you know, to do it back. Until then, Jeep fam, Jeep on.